Last week, on Game of Bros, the boys faced off in 2 challenges. The first, a weave challenge, narrowly won by Phoenix and the Core Fight team. The second, a tāmoko puzzle. This time, Amon's Kikorangi team stood victorious.
Team Kikorangi, winner of the puzzle challenge.
And were given the choice of who on the yellow team to send home.
Rani.
Please hand over your lava lava.
Who will keep his lava lava this week? And who will be walking home in their undies? Find out on Game of Bros.
Tēnā koutou Ngāti Bro, and welcome to another exciting day of challenges. Congratulations for making it this far. And as we are your hosts, Barnes and Barnes, your fantasies and realities rolled into one, it is our mission to see that one of you reigns as the ultimate Nesian warrior.
Now, in last week's challenge of Game of Bros, really tested your memory skills, your teamwork, and unfortunately, Team Karaka lost, which meant poor Rani was sent home. Apparently, he was deemed a threat.
Carlos, are you intimidated by it, Rani?
I think I am.
Why?
I think I am.
I know, he was sent home in his undies.
He was.
There is no teamwork today. It's all about being single. And yes, we are, in case you're asking. You'll be tested on your strength and your agility, and you need these things going into the next competition. Isn't that right? Wairangi kote skaks.
I like our beautiful wahine said, Te ao Māori, the taiaha was the most well-renowned weapon. Needed strength, needed agility, needed speed, and they also needed to be well-balanced. The wero tuatai mo te rānei, you will face each other in single battle combat. These battles will take place on a pontoon in the pool. The first brother to hit the water will be the loser of the battle. The bro with the most wins after one round robin will be the champion of the challenge.
Now, as you all know, the winner of this challenge will receive an amazing prize pack put together by us and may have an advantage going into the next challenge.
Phoenix, you have the...
Taonga noa,
And because you have won,
taonga noa.
it means that you have a win going into the next competition, okay? Excellent.
Kati, let the battle begin.
Looking at this challenge, it's like they made it especially for me. So as soon as I look at all the other boys, there was no one that really fazed me.
Okay, boys, now time to channel the wairua of your ancestors. Rauna tuatahi, round 1, loss, Amon. Make your way out to the marks, let's go.
It's not synchronized, boys.
It's all in the stance, I reckon.
I think so too.
If you get fixed on a great stance, you're gonna win.
Toru, rua, tahi, kōkiri.
Let's go!
Let's go! Yeah, boys.
Right now.
Yep.
Swing!
Ammon struggled a bit, like his stance was really awkward. Man, his feet weren't planted wide enough. It's like trying to tell him, bro, squat down, man. I'm sure you do like some powerlifting at home. Get in there, get in there.
Those ones, eh?
Touch pads, touch pads.
The last knees is Finn.
I just found it really difficult to focus on both hitting my opponent and standing and holding my balance at the same time. Probably should have done more crunches in the gym.
Carlos, 1 win. Round 2, Jesse and Joash.
Eyeing up some of the boys, I was like, yeah, I can take them on, and some of the other boys, I was like, yeah, maybe from the back.
So my strategy was just to use my balance as a dancer to try and work out the strongest points on the platform, and then I was just gonna wait and see what the other person would do.
Okay, ready, boys? Toru, rua, tahi, kōkiri.
Let's go, brothers.
My first fight was against Jesse.
Are you actually watching the game or no? You're just watching their bodies?
I just like the way that your level is sticking to their bodies right now.
And sort of try and get them off balance and then take my first hit from there.
Hey, go, bro.
Onto the face.
I just lost my footing, yeah. It's nothing to do with Jesse and how he's not better than me.
Jesse, 1 win. Round 3, Josh, Oscar.
So why calls me and Oscar out, and I knew I had him. As soon as I saw him, I knew I had him.
Josh is amazing. You know what? He's got a great upper body.
At this stage of the competition, my biggest threat would probably be Josh. Not in terms of ability. I think it's just the grudge going back to episode 2.
If I had to choose, just in terms of the not tying, I'm gonna have to choose my mate Oscar.
Rua, tahi, kōkiri.
Let's go, let's go!
Then he pulled some sort of tongue at me, which made me laugh. I almost fell off on that.
If I could pick someone to go home today, I'd want Josh to go home today. It's just easy as that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I lost my adjusting stick, but I didn't need it anyway.
Swing, swing! Swing back! Let's go!
And then I knew that I was just gonna wait for him to swing at me, grab it, and then just throw him off with it. Yeah, I thought it was just too easy. I was actually going to go into the challenge with no adjusting stick, and I was just going to use my bare hands. As soon as I look at all the other boys, there was no one that really fazed me.
Yeah, it's just sometimes the world's not unfair, eh? You know, like if you got the looks and you got the body and you know how to fight.
With the Taiaha Challenge in full flight, the bros were forced to battle each other in vicious man-to-man combat. Some excelled, and some were downright terrible. The top 4 fighters will move on to the semi-finals and give themselves a chance at keeping their lava-lavas for another week.
That's 1 for Josh. Jesse gets a win. Oscar now has 2 wins.
If I could pick someone to go home, to be honest, it will be Carlos. Because this man is just winning all the competitions.
Uh-oh. Looks like Carlos has lost his ear level lover. Oh
that's
well,
good for us.
It's great for us, but let's just not say anything.
Phoenix was he was interesting to watch. He had his balance going on quite perfectly.
Next up, Phoenix versus Oscar.
What I did was run onto the planks and set up as quickly as possible and try to get into a kung fu stance so that they're like, I wonder what this guy's gonna do.
Toru, rua, tahi, kōkiri. Work on your balance, boys.
Phoenix, I tell you, he is amazing. But did you see what he was like in the last challenge? That's why he's got immunity. He was amazing.
I'll wait. Oscar with a crucial victory.
With Oscar narrowly nudging out Phoenix, he joins Carlos, Jesse, and Josh with a spot in the semi-finals.
Okay, fitting a fighty time. Semi-finals. Josh, Jesse. You're up.
Josh, I mean, he's a big guy. He's freaking huge compared to me. Like I'm an elf. He's Santa Claus. So it's he's got a lot on me. So I'd probably pick him to go right now.
Here we go. Toru, Rua, Tahi.
Jesse understands the language of water.
does. I think he was a turtle.
Go with the flow, like, you know, Bruce Lee.
Kokiri.
So me and Jesse make it to the semi-finals, and I knew straight away I had him.
That's a win for Jesse.
I knew straight away I had him. Pretty sure I won that one.
Carlos, Oscar. Toru, Rua, Tahi, Kokiri.
Oscar is amazing too, isn't he?
Well, I'm glad he's wearing sunscreen.
That's right.
There's no brothers in here, bro. Nice, Oscar, nice. Let's go, Oscar. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Reverse.
Carlos de Toa.
Oh man, Carlos, yeah, Carlos, yeah. So he's got that that experience of fighting and stuff like that.
Last round, te whiringa toa. Okay, with 5 wins each. Jesse versus Carlos for the win.
I mean, he's won quite a few challenges. He's a big guy. He's a tall guy. He's strong as well.
Norite, Toru, Rua, Tahi, Kokiri. Carlos, te toa whakaihuaka.
I was a little bit angry because Carlos wins everything.
Carlos takes the challenge.
It would have been a better match, me and Carlos in the final, but
Carlos, would you please step forward?
Carlos, you won the first challenge. What was the most difficult thing?
The balance, actually. Some of the platforms were quite unbalanced and just going in there was quite tough to get that balance right.
Who was your toughest opponent?
Toughest opponent would probably have to be... Well, I was afraid of going against Phoenix. He had a lot of balance and he's got a good core going on, so it was tough going against him.
Ka mautu wehi, Carlos.
Please step forward and receive your gift and give us a ka mautu pesh. Well done.
Carlos, as the winner of the challenge, you get to choose one of your competitors to sit out of the next challenge.
When Carlos had the chance to pick somebody to sit out, I know Oscar wanted that seat. Secretly, I wanted that seat because I hate water, deep water.
Carlos, who have you chosen?
I've gone with Josh. So Josh in the later rounds I see as a competition, and I know that maybe he'd have my back in the later rounds, and maybe he could do me a favor if he was to win immunity later on. I got you, brother. As long as you got my back, I'm good.
yeah. So I think Carlos choosing me to set up this next challenge, I think he's got it in his head that I'm going to pay him back somehow, but no way. I'm going to the end, and every man for himself.
Te wero tuaro mo te rānei. Our tupuna were ocean people, and knew how to dive for kaimoana, which meant they had to be good at holding their breath. In Tahiti, the ancient game of amora o whai was a game where a warrior would lift rocks to improve his strength and stamina. We have combined these two aspects together. You have 3 boulders each at the bottom of the pool. Dive down and collect 1 boulder at a time and carry it to the stacking area. The person who gets all 3 boulders to the end of the pool the fastest is the winner of the challenge.
The bro who finishes last will be going home.
As soon as we were told the challenge by Y, I think I already had dropped my boulders down in the bottom of the water as well, eh?
Korite boys, tūturu whakamaua kia tīna! Tīna! Haumie, huie! Tākie! Toru, rua, tahi, kōkiri!
You know who I'm a bit nervous about?
Yes.
It's Phoenix.
Why's that?
Because he's smaller than the rocks that he's got to carry over there.
Phoenix and Carlos off to a good start.
Oh my gosh, I was so wrong about Phoenix. Go Phoenix!
My strategy was just go in beast mode. And then once I got that first one, came out under the water, 1 breath, and I was just walking, looked around. I'm leading. I'm leading first place.
I saw Phoenix actually win the first length, and he got the rock first out of everyone else. That was a huge shock. Yeah. I thought he was going to actually lose the whole thing.
So my strategy for the rock run was to just jump in, grab the rock, and then slowly maneuver myself into the shallow ends.
Carlos, kei te hoki mai mo tōna kōhatu tuarua.
It was still a pretty cool challenge. Actually, I've always watched surfers that I look up to, like Kelly Slater and Julian Wilson, kind of doing the whole preparation for the big Hawaiian waves and walking underwater. So I was like, kind of visualizing that, like, oh, this is gonna be mean.
Eamon, a little bit slow. Kei muri e haere ana.
I knew I wanted to jump straight down into the water because that will carry me down towards the boulders. And then I opened my eyes, and next thing I know, I saw my contact drift away from my face. There goes one eye.
I went down, got the first boulder, and I carried it, and I was just telling myself in my head, just go as far as I can.
Oscar now with his first boulder.
I think the only thing was really just the height. Like the boys like Loss and Eamon kind of had the advantage of being able to get their head above the water before us, and once you get your head above the water, it's just smooth sailing from there. All you've got to do is just walk.
Joash with his first boulder.
Don't drown and stay alive. You've got a wife and a daughter. They want to see you at home.
Jesse with his first boulder.
At one point, I grabbed the largest boulder, threw it forward a little bit, and actually rolled into Joash's lane.
Eamon just struggled. I think he was just having a problem with his breathing.
I have a biting fear of deep water. I've had that ever since as long as I can remember.
Carlos with his second boulder. Phoenix struggling after the first one.
Phoenix, you can do it. Take a breather.
You know, I was running out of breath. No. Okay, calm down. You're panicking. Just make it, don't come last.
Phoenix with his second boulder.
Joash is actually having a bit of trouble as well.
Well, at least he's got one rock down there.
So that's the strategy, to make them feel like they're like, oh, I can take Josh, but then really. I think the difficult thing was actually just getting to the bottom.
Still running last, Joash. Need to pick it up.
After a hard-fought first challenge, it was Carlos that smashed everyone to win the taonga noa. His reward was to pick someone to sit out the second challenge. He chose Josh, effectively giving him a straight pass to next week. The fool.
Well, cheer him on.
Let's go, Eamon.
Keep clapping. Oh, I like that. That's great.
I think the difficult thing was actually just getting to the bottom and actually carrying the rocks. It was quite slippery on the ground, you know, wearing no shoes and whatever and whatnot.
Still running second to last, Joash. Did you pick it up?
Surprisingly, Joash and Emin struggled a bit in terms of the challenge. Joash, he's quite nimble. He's also a dancer, so I would have thought he would have been okay. But not everyone's comfortable under the water, and then with the added pressure of having a boulder that's not that light to try and walk through and then come up for breath, so it was definitely hard.
That is amazing. Jesse was amazing. He was so amazing. I didn't see that. So you've got the rock down there. The smaller guys are actually killing this. Phoenix is down for a second. And Carlos.
I didn't really pay too much attention to anybody else. I was trying to focus on myself. Don't die. Your family loves you. You need to go home.
It wasn't as tough as I thought it'd be, but I got there and just paced myself really. And luckily, you know, through training that I do, I'm able to do it quite easily.
Carlos with his third and final boulder.
Oh, wow. Oh, well done. Well done, Carlos.
You're lucky, Carlos. What did you... Lucky.
Oscar with 3 boulders now.
I came third, so I still got through in the top 3, so I was happy about that.
Phoenix with his last boulder now. Joash, Emin, it's you 2 to go.
I was trying to run underneath the water and I kept slipping.
It was a strategy for me. It's even that part where I looked like I was drowning, strategy.
As I got to the last boulder, I saw Joash leaning on the side of the pool.
Yeah, we were just sort of encouraging each other, eh? Yeah, I was encouraging him.
He actually got ahead of me. I went back for the 3rd boulder. As I surfaced, I saw Joash already walking. He'd gotten to the point where he could stand in the water. I knew I'd lost. I watched Joash walk away with a lot of my hopes. Tough luck.
Joash is finished. His 3rd boulder's up.
And I really felt for him. You know, he was generally struggling.
Oh, Emin.
Come on,
This is
Emin.
painful.
Let's go.
Come on, Emin.
I looked up and I saw Carlos in the water, and I was just kind of like, what the heck's Carlos doing here?
So at the end of the challenge, all the boys had finished, and Emin was the last one to get his final rock through, and we could tell that throughout the whole challenge he was struggling, he was finding it hard.
Oh, look, the boys are all coming back to encourage him. This is great. Come on, Emin.
That's what it's about. That's the warrior spirit.
The thing with Emin, like, he never gave up. He pushed through to the end. All the boys came in and helped them.
Yeah, when we saw Emin struggle, it was a bit of an emotional moment, to be honest.
It was a powerful moment in terms of us brotherhood, in terms of the last 7 that was left.
It was a tough day, you know. Emin's a good dude, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, that's how the game goes, you know.
Well done, boys. That was so tough, wasn't it?
It was. You know, warriors, what really came through in that challenge was your hearts. Because not only are you in there as individuals, but you also came together as brothers right there in the end. And for us watching that was not an easy challenge to watch. It was actually heartbreaking, and at the same time, it was a celebration of brothers coming together. We just want to acknowledge, well done.
Carlos, you won the challenge. You carried your 3 boulders down in real quick time. What was the hardest part about the challenge?
It was just that first part, we're in the deep end, just carrying the rocks, the heavy boulders, and trying to get your balance and your footing right. So that would be the hardest part.
Yeah. Emin, please step forward. You came last in the challenge. What happened?
I couldn't seem to get my footing underneath the water. A little bit of a panic. Not being able to hold my breath as long as I might have thought I could. but I'm glad I finished the race.
Well, we're all very proud of you, Eamon.
You were very, very emotional in that last leg. What was the thing that really hit home?
I came here to do the best that I can. And I just wanted to finish for all the people that I'm here to represent.
Please step forward. You showed great warrior spirit. It's with a heavy heart that we have to eliminate you in the game of rows. Please hand over your lava.
Eamon, we just want to say that we're very proud of you.
You hold your head up high. You did everyone back home proud.
Exactly.
And all of us here.
We're so proud of you.
Now that I've been eliminated from the game of bros, you know, I have a lot of memories to look back on just in the short amount of time I've been able to spend here in New Zealand. I think I'll just take some time to consider what I'd like to do next with my next move. I'm obviously going to head back to American Samoa, where I work for the Department of Health.
Well, boys, we're down to 6. An old Māori saying that says, "Oke ururoa te." Never give up. Never, ever give up.
Next week, it's all about creative flair. The bros will be tested on their carving and storytelling skills. Game of Bros, next week.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.